Did you know that the fruit you eat after dinner might be the real reason you're waking up to pee at 2 a.m.? It sounds harmless, but for millions of older adults, even a small bowl of the wrong fruit can quietly ruin a good night's sleep. You go to bed feeling tired, hoping for deep rest, but just an hour or two later, your bladder pulls you out of bed. Once, twice, maybe more. And what makes it worse is that sometimes there's barely any urine at all. Still, the urge feels urgent and impossible to ignore. It's exhausting, frustrating, and slowly steals away your energy and joy. But here's the good news. By simply choosing the right fruits and avoiding a few sneaky troublemakers, you can finally reduce those nighttime bathroom trips and enjoy longer, more peaceful sleep. In this video, I'll walk you through the top 5 fruits that are gentle on your bladder and help you rest better at night. And just as important, I'll show you 5 fruits that may be silently making things worse. Fruits that many people assume are healthy, but can actually trigger bladder irritation when eaten at the wrong time. This channel is here to guide you with honest, practical tips, especially for those dealing with diabetes, kidney issues, or nighttime urination. If that's you, be sure to hit subscribe, because each video is designed to make your health journey a little bit easier, one step at a time. Let's start with the 5 fruits you should be eating after dinner to finally sleep through the night. 5 fruits to support your bladder. In many Indian households, choosing fruits after dinner feels like a simple decision. A sweet banana, a piece of papaya, or a few slices of watermelon. But what most seniors don't realize is that some fruits aren't just tasty. They can also support your bladder when chosen wisely. After 60, our bodies become more sensitive. Digestion slows, the bladder becomes reactive, and even a harmless-looking fruit can either bring calm or trigger discomfort. Let's explore 5 fruits that have been quietly helping many Indian seniors sleep better, reduce nighttime urgency, and support urinary health in gentle, natural ways. 1. Banana. Let's ease into it. Many people don't realize that what they eat after 5 p.m. can quietly affect how often they wake up at night to urinate. Some fruits calm the bladder, others irritate it. As we age, the bladder becomes more sensitive, reacting to even small amounts of urine, especially during the night when the kidneys shift more fluid. And while some fruits seem healthy, they can contain acids or sugars that overstimulate the bladder. But the right fruits do the opposite. They help you sleep more peacefully. One great example is the banana. This trusted fruit is naturally low in acid, which makes it gentle on the bladder lining. It also contains about 400 ml of potassium, which relaxes the bladder's smooth muscles. That means fewer sudden urges and more restful hours of sleep. Bananas are also great for blood pressure and digestion, especially when eaten at the right time, around 5 to 6 p.m. or an hour after dinner. Choose a ripe but not overly soft banana, and avoid eating it cold from the fridge, which can upset digestion. The key is simple. The right fruit, at the right time, can support better sleep in ways we often overlook. Now let's move on to another helpful fruit, and one you might be better off avoiding. 2. Papaya. Let's continue. If bananas bring calm to the bladder, then papaya brings calm to the entire digestive system. Something just as important when it comes to nighttime urination. Why does digestion matter here? As we get older, even mild bloating or heaviness in the gut can put pressure on the bladder, triggering frequent urges to urinate, especially at night when our body is lying flat. A heavy dinner or slow digestion can make the bladder feel full before it actually is. That's where papaya comes in. This soft orange-colored fruit isn't just for digestion. It's a bladder-friendly hero. It contains papain, a natural enzyme that helps break down proteins and ease digestion. When your stomach and intestines are light and calm, they don't press unnecessarily on your bladder, helping reduce those 2 a.m. bathroom visits. One elderly man from Pune shared how switching from his usual roti sabzi dinner with mango pickle to a lighter meal with papaya helped reduce both bloating and nighttime trips to the bathroom. That simple change made his nights more restful. Even better, papaya also has a gentle alkalizing effect, meaning it prevents excess acid in the urine, something crucial for seniors with sensitive bladders. For best results, enjoy a 150-gram slice of ripe, but not mushy, papaya about 30-60 minutes after dinner. Avoid unripe or overly soft papaya, as they can upset digestion instead of helping it. Sometimes, a simple fruit like papaya can quietly transform your nights from restless to restful. Now let's move on to a juicy red fruit many people enjoy after dinner, but it might be secretly disturbing your sleep. 3. Pear. Let's keep going. After the soothing benefits of banana and papaya, it's time to talk about a fruit that's often forgotten but can make a real difference for both your bladder and your bowels: the pear. Why does this matter? Many people don't realize that constipation and bloating can actually press against the bladder, making you feel like you need to pee more often, especially at night when you're lying down. A backed-up gut can quietly add pressure to your lower abdomen, triggering unnecessary urges. That's where pears come in. This soft, sweet fruit is low in acid, making it gentle on the bladder. But it also contains sorbitol, a natural sugar alcohol that draws water into the intestines, helping to keep bowel movements regular and soft. This not only relieves constipation but also reduces the internal pressure that can irritate the bladder. As older women in rural India wisely say, when the stomach is happy, the bladder stays quiet. Eating just one medium pear in the late afternoon, around 4 or 5 p.m., can ease digestion, reduce bloating, and help your body settle before bedtime. For best results, keep the skin on for extra fiber. Just make sure to wash it well and chew slowly to support better digestion. This simple habit can quietly support a full night's sleep without interruption. Now that we've covered 3 bladder-friendly fruits, let's shift gears and talk about one popular fruit that might be secretly making your nighttime urination worse. 4. Watermelon. Let's shift gears for a moment. While some fruits are clearly helpful or harmful, others fall into a more complicated category. One of those is watermelon, a beloved summer treat that can be both friend and foe, depending on how and when it's eaten. Here's why it matters. Watermelon is over 90% water. While that's great for hydration, eating too much of it, especially in the evening, can overload the bladder and lead to multiple nighttime trips. But when eaten correctly, this juicy fruit can actually help soothe the urinary system. The secret lies in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant found in watermelon's red flesh. Lycopene supports prostate health in men and helps reduce inflammation of the bladder wall in both men and women. For seniors who deal with early signs of prostate swelling or frequent infections, this benefit is especially valuable. The key is all in the timing and portion. A small bowl of watermelon, about 150 to 200 grams, is best enjoyed before 2 p.m. and always at room temperature. Eating it too late or straight from the fridge can trigger bladder urgency and disrupt your sleep. But when done right, watermelon becomes a healing food, not a harmful one. Many older adults are surprised to learn that it's not just what you eat, but when and how that truly impacts your body's response. With watermelon, a few small adjustments can protect your sleep and support your bladder. Now that we've explored 4 fruits that support better nighttime rest, it's time to meet our 5th and final helper. One that not only calms the bladder, but also helps balance your internal clock. 5. Guava. Let's take a closer look at another gentle fruit that often grows quietly in backyards and gets far less attention than it deserves. Guava. Why is this fruit worth talking about? For people dealing with nighttime urination and mild bladder irritation, the key is to reduce inflammation and avoid foods that over-acidify the body. While guava is rich in vitamin C, it's surprisingly low in citric acid, which makes it much gentler on the bladder compared to oranges or lemons. Guava also contains plant compounds that help calm mild inflammation in the urinary tract, a common, silent cause of frequent nighttime urination. When the bladder lining is even slightly irritated, it becomes hypersensitive, sending signals to the brain to wake up even with small amounts of urine. A retired teacher in Kerala shared a simple habit that changed his nights: eating one medium guava around 4 p.m., about 3 hours before dinner. Within days, he noticed fewer awakenings at night and a soothing effect on that uncomfortable burning sensation he'd been quietly dealing with for years. To get the most benefit, choose a ripe guava, not too hard, and eat it in the mid-afternoon, well before your evening meal. If the skin is thick or hard, peel it gently, and try not to mix guava with milk, salt, or masala, as these combinations may interfere with digestion and reduce its calming effects. It's small choices like these, simple, natural, and backed by real experiences, that can gently lead you toward better nights. Now, while guava is a quiet helper, there's one fruit that seems innocent, but could be waking you up without you even knowing why. 5 fruits to avoid after sunset. Many habits from our younger years, like eating fruit after dinner, may no longer suit us after 60. What we eat after sunset affects not just digestion, but also how often the bladder disrupts sleep. Not all fruits are as gentle as they seem. Here are 5 fruits that, if eaten at the wrong time, may lead to broken sleep due to frequent bathroom trips. 1. Orange and Mosambi. Let's keep going. After looking at how pineapple may be silently disrupting your sleep, we now turn to another common culprit, one that many people consider light, refreshing, and even healthy before bed: orange and Mosambi. Here's the thing: while both of these citrus fruits are rich in vitamin C and hydration, they are also very high in citric acid, especially when consumed as juice. And that acidity can directly irritate the bladder lining, especially if your bladder is already sensitive due to age or mild inflammation. When the urine becomes too acidic, it can trigger the nerves in the bladder to send urgent signals, even when the bladder isn't full. This is why many older adults experience that sudden need to go shortly after drinking citrus juice, even if they just went an hour ago. One elderly gentleman in Hyderabad shared how he used to drink a glass of Mosambi juice every night at 8 p.m. as part of his summer routine. Though refreshing, he began waking up 3 or even 4 times a night, always with urgency. It wasn't until he moved his citrus intake to before 2 p.m., when digestion is stronger and the body can buffer acidity better, that he finally noticed improvement in his sleep. It's important to know, timing matters just as much as the fruit itself. Citrus in the morning or early afternoon can be fine for many people, but having it after sunset? That's when it can become a quiet enemy of restful sleep. If you enjoy oranges or Mosambi, consider having them with breakfast or lunch, and definitely skip the juice in the evening. Even small adjustments like this can have a big impact on how many hours you stay asleep without interruption. Now, let's move on to another juicy favorite that seems harmless, but could be adding fuel to the fire if you're already dealing with nighttime urination. 2. Pineapple. Let's continue with a fruit that tastes like a tropical vacation: pineapple. It's juicy, sweet, and often considered great for digestion. But when it comes to nighttime urination, this fruit may be silently working against you. Why is that? Pineapple contains a powerful enzyme called bromelain, which naturally stimulates the digestive tract. While that might sound helpful, the truth is, stimulating the bowels too much before bedtime can cause extra pressure on your bladder. And when you lie down, that pressure intensifies, often triggering false urges to urinate, even when there's very little urine inside. For some people, this can quietly disrupt sleep. One woman in Chennai used to enjoy a few slices of pineapple after dinner, thinking it would help her digestion. But over time, she noticed she was waking up around midnight, feeling an urgent need to pee, even though her bladder wasn't full. She switched to papaya or pear instead, and within a week, her sleep improved, and the late-night urgency faded. That's not to say pineapple is unhealthy, it's full of vitamin C and antioxidants. But the timing matters. If you love pineapple, try enjoying it before 3 p.m., when your digestion is more active and the body is upright. Eating it after sunset, especially as a dessert, might be sending mixed signals to your bladder and digestive system. These little details make a big difference. The goal isn't to avoid all your favorite fruits, it's about understanding your body's rhythm and adjusting how you eat, not just what you eat. Now, let's take a closer look at another sweet and juicy fruit, one that many people believe is safe, but can quietly disrupt your sleep without warning. 3. Grapes. Let's move to another fruit that seems innocent because of its size and sweetness. Grapes. They're small, juicy, and easy to snack on, but when it comes to nighttime urination, they can quietly stir up more trouble than most people expect. So why are grapes on the watch list? While naturally rich in antioxidants, grapes also contain simple sugars that tend to ferment in the gut, especially if eaten late in the evening. This fermentation process can create gas and bloating, which then puts pressure on your lower abdomen and, unfortunately, on your bladder. When that happens, the bladder becomes more sensitive. Even a small amount of urine starts to feel like a full load, waking you up at night with the urge to go, even if your bladder isn't actually full. That's exactly what happened to a retired teacher in Lucknow. He enjoyed grapes with dinner as a light dessert, but later noticed he was tossing and turning at night, feeling bloated and restless. Once he moved grapes to the early afternoon, the bloating faded, and so did the frequent nighttime awakenings. If you enjoy grapes, it doesn't mean you have to give them up. Just make a few small changes. Eat them before 2 p.m., and always choose ripe, peeled grapes to reduce fiber fermentation. Also, avoid pairing grapes with curd or milk-based dishes, which can slow digestion and increase fermentation in older adults. These gentle tweaks in when and how you eat grapes can make a real difference, not just for your digestion, but for your sleep quality too. Now let's talk about one last fruit, a summer favorite. That may seem refreshing on a hot evening, but can easily disrupt your sleep if you're not careful. 4. Citrus juice mixes. Let's now look at something many people believe is healthy, but might be quietly disturbing your sleep. Citrus juice blends. These colorful fruity drinks often combine orange, lemon, and kiwi, and while they taste refreshing, they may not be as gentle on your bladder as you think. Here's why. Citrus juices are naturally high in acid and sugar. When mixed together, they create a highly concentrated drink that leads to low pH levels in the urine. For younger people, this might not be a big deal. But for seniors, especially those with sensitive bladders, this acidic environment can easily trigger urgency and frequent urination, even when the bladder isn't full. One of the most common complaints from older adults is that they feel fine during the day, but as soon as they go to bed, they wake up 2, 3, even 4 times to pee. And often, they don't realize that their healthy juice after dinner might be the hidden cause. Instead of sipping on citrus juices after sunset, try this: a cup of warm water with a slice of pear, or a small bowl of fresh watermelon cubes during the day. These choices hydrate your body without irritating the bladder, and they won't leave you tossing and turning at night. The point isn't to cut out fruit completely. It's to listen to your body, understand its changing needs, and adjust your habits gently. That's how you protect your sleep and your quality of life. Now that we've gone through all 5 helpful fruits and 5 to avoid, let's bring everything together and talk about how to apply these simple changes to enjoy deeper, uninterrupted rest every single night. 5. Tomato. Let's wrap up the list with a fruit that's often mistaken for a vegetable: tomato. In many Indian homes, raw tomatoes are a common part of evening salads or side dishes. But if you're someone who struggles with nighttime urination, this familiar food might be doing more harm than good. Here's why. Raw tomatoes contain oxalic acid, a compound that can irritate the bladder lining, especially when consumed in the evening. This irritation may increase bladder sensitivity and in some cases even contribute to tiny crystal formations in the urine, which worsen the urge to urinate at night. While this may not affect everyone, for those with aging kidneys or a delicate urinary tract, it can, quietly, disrupt rest. One elderly couple from Ahmedabad shared how they always had a raw tomato salad with dinner. Over time, they noticed they were both waking up several times during the night. Their doctor suggested swapping out raw tomatoes for steamed carrots or lightly cooked green beans. Just that one simple change helped them sleep longer and deeper, and they felt the difference in just a few days. The good news? You don't have to stop enjoying tomatoes. Just cook them. When tomatoes are simmered into sabzi or soups, their oxalate content softens, making them far less irritating to the bladder. But as a rule of thumb, avoid raw tomato in the evening, especially in salads or sandwiches. It's these small, thoughtful changes that truly add up. Because better sleep doesn't always come from medicine, it often starts from what's on your plate. Now that we've gone through all 10 fruits, the ones that help and the ones that hurt, let's tie everything together and explore how you can use this knowledge to finally sleep through the night.